back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my favorite Barely There lipstick. So I thought this would be a fun video because I'm someone that just really enjoys a sheer lipstick formula, a lipstick that is like barely a lipstick. So sometimes I would classify them as lipstick lip gloss hybrids because they have more of that glossy formulation. They're more on the sheer side. So they're almost undetectable. And I'm just someone who likes more skin enhancing products, just products that enhance your natural beauty. So these type of lip products are definitely what I gravitate more towards. So if you want to see all my favorite Barely There lipsticks, just keep watching. Okay, so for the first lipsticks, I have a bunch lined up here. I didn't want to mention too many, so I just have my absolute favorites in front of me. Like I always do, I don't mention products just to mention them. These are my favorite sheer lipsticks. So I'm going to start off with a newer formula to me. This is something you guys actually suggested. So I love when you guys suggest me makeup because a lot of the times it's stuff that I really love and it ends up being a favorite. So this is the Gucci Rouge Volupte Brilliant Lipstick in the shade Sally Soft Honey. This is just a gorgeous, it's like a nudie pink shade. And I'm going to apply all these on the lips so you can see these colors. But this formulation is really lovely because it just glides on the lips. It applies very sheerly, like you can see. There's not a lot of color payoff here, but it's so comfortable on the lips. It gives you a little bit of shine. It's that perfect lipstick, lip gloss hybrid. So you don't need a lip gloss on top of this sort of formula. And I just love the color it gives and the shine. The shine it gives isn't too shiny where your lips look like gloopy or it looks like your upper lip is sweating. This is just a beautiful, beautiful formula. It's a thin consistency as well, so it just melts onto the lips without it feeling heavy, without it feeling tacky or sticky or anything like that. And I just think this color is beautiful. If you're looking for a nudie pink, this color is gorgeous. So this is the Gucci lipstick in Sally Soft Honey. I do want to quickly just mention the fragrance of this is not my favorite, but it's not terrible. It's a lightly floral fragrance, but it's just something to be aware of if you are someone who's sensitive to fragrance. I just thought I would mention that. Next on my list is something from Chantecaille, and these are the Chantecaille lip veils. So I have the shade Tamboti and Honeypot. I really love both of these shades, but I think if I had to choose a favorite, it would probably be Honeypot just because it's such a classic lip formula. So it comes in this gorgeous packaging. It is magnetic, so it just slips on like that. I think the packaging is really nice and sleek, but this formula is really beautiful as well. So this feels a little bit, I want to say of like a thinner formula than the Gucci lipstick that I just mentioned. It is very lightweight on the lips. It gives a beautiful color payoff without it being too colorful because like I said, these are Barely There lipsticks. These are just sheer lip formulas. But I think that shine is a little bit less intense than the Gucci one. This is just a beautiful formulation. And what I really love about the lip veil formula is that after you've worn this product, your lips actually feel better after it's worn off your lips. So a lot of lip products, once they wear off, you'll feel like maybe you need a little bit moisture on your lips because obviously you just applied a pigmented product on your lips. So the moisture just kind of gets sucked out of them. But this one makes it feel like you've applied a lip mask onto your lips. But it's not a gloopy lip mask. Like I said, it doesn't fall outside the lip lines. It just is so lovely. And I think that color is beautiful. It's like the perfect your lips but better sort of shade. So I love to wear this on an everyday basis. It's really nice to touch up with. This goes with any sort of makeup look. So this is the lip veil from Chantecaille in the shade Honeypot. Absolutely love this formulation as well. Next on the list, we have something from Surratt, and these are the Surratt Lipsliques in the shade Hevyn. So this is another sort of formulation where it's a little twist up like this. You cannot twist them down though, so make sure not to twist it too far up. But this formulation is really gorgeous as well. It really does remind me of the Chantecaille lip veil. Very similar in formulation. Oh, the texture of this is so beautiful. I love this shade. It does remind me of Honeypot, but I think I like this shade just a little bit more. This has a little bit more of a sheen to it, I want to say, but it's incredibly lightweight. It feels almost a little bit more silicone-y. It feels a little bit softer on the lips. Just a gorgeous formula, and I really like this packaging. It's a little sleek, it's a little thin, so I love to just pop this in my purse. This is something that I like to take with me on an everyday basis because I just think this sort of formula and color is very flattering. It is a My Lips But Better shade, and I feel like this pairs very well with any sort of eye makeup look that I'm wearing. And this formula is so lovely. It's a very thin texture as well. and I just think it makes your lips look really enhanced and pretty without it being over the top. And I just love these formulas because you just apply it and you don't need to apply a lipstick or a lip gloss over top because you already have that beautiful sheen to these formulas. And they just give you enough color that you look presentable, but it's not too much color where you're going to be worried if it wears off or anything like that, because it's such a sheer lip gloss or a sheer lip formula. It wears off very beautifully and it wears off very elegantly. So I really love this formula as well. I just think this is gorgeous. So this is a new favorite. And I do want to mention that Surratt did send this to me, but I would definitely repurchase this shade because I think it's so flattering and beautiful. My next favorite Barely There lipstick is the Chanel Rouge Coco Flash. My favorite shade is the shade Boy, which is just one of my favorite lip products. This is so gorgeous. Now, I would say this one is definitely more oily than the other formulas that I have mentioned. This feels like you've applied almost a lip oil and it's just melting on contact with your lips. This gives you just an ever so soft pigment. This is probably the most sheer of all the lip products that I've talked about so far. So it gives you more just of a sheen and a little bit of a tint more than anything else. This formula is definitely, like I said, a little bit more oily, so it's still thin on the lips. This formula is still very thin on the lips. Like I mentioned, it's almost like an oil when it comes into contact on your lips. It just melts on contact and gives you this beautiful, beautiful sheen. This one is probably, I want to say, the least long wearing because it's so oily in consistency. So it definitely does not wear long at all. But because this pigment is so sheer, you can touch up without a mirror and it's just so pretty. This almost has a nice sheen to it as well. So it almost reflects the light in this really beautiful way where it just kind of blurs out your lip lines. Such a pretty formula. This is one of my favorites. Boy is just such a classic from Chanel as well. And I just feel like this is such a great everyday nude shade. This is definitely probably one of the most nude shades in my collection here, but I just think this is such a beautiful Barely There lip product. I have another favorite from Chantecaille, and this is the Chantecaille Lip Chic formula. And this right here is the shade Bourbon Rose. I really like the shade Patience as well, but I thought I would show you Bourbon Rose today because this is just a little bit of a different tone. I would say this is more like a rosebud shade. It has a little bit more of a plum undertone to it. So if you're someone that doesn't really like those super nude lip colors, this is a beautiful one. This is one that my mom loves as well because it gives her a little bit more color, and you do lose color as you age. So sometimes you just want something with a little bit more color. But this formula, really similar to the Lip Chic formula that I mentioned before, except I would say this has a little bit of a waxier formulation. So when you apply it on your lips, it feels almost, how do I describe it? Almost more Vaseline-y. It does have a little bit of that oiliness to it, so it really melts on contact with your lips, and it gives you a bit more shine, I want to say. This formulation as well is another formula that leaves your lips feeling more hydrated after you've worn it, so your lips feel really good once this is worn away. I love the sheen this provides. Again, that color is really pretty because even though it might look more intense in the bullet, it just gives you a sheer pigmentation, and it's just so easy to apply. It's easy to wear. It's easy to reapply throughout the day as well. So this is just one of my favorite Barely There lip colors as well. Just a beautiful classic. Now this is something I don't mention all the time, but it's something my sister mentioned to me, so I decided to pick it up. And these are the Tarte Maracujá Juicy Lip Plump formulas. This is in the shade White Peach. So this is kind of, again, a lipstick, lip gloss formula. More of a lip gloss, I want to say. But this is definitely a little bit thicker in consistency. And it goes on quite opaque, so you just need a little bit of product. And I find the best way to apply this is applying a little bit of that product in the center of the lip, and then I just use my fingertips to blend it onto the lips from there. Like I said, this is a bit more of a thicker formula than the other products that I mentioned. So I do like that it's a thicker formula because it's kind of smooths over those lip lines. Sometimes with a thinner formula, it can almost sit in the lip lines and emphasize them a little bit more. None of the products I mentioned do that, but sometimes that is the case with thinner lip products. But this just gives you like kind of a thick lip mask almost. And so I find that very hydrating. It does have a slight peppermint effect to it. So if you're someone really sensitive to that or those lip plumping effects, I probably would not recommend that just because it is a little menthol-y. But I do really like this one. The one downfall I want to say is that after a while you get that little white line of death after about 3 hours. Sometimes that does happen, not all the time, but if my lips are really dry, that does happen. But I just like this formulation just as a barely there lip product. I just like this if I want something really easy that's not too glossy, because I do feel like this one dries down a little bit more on the lips and it doesn't look as glossy as some of the other formulas that I have mentioned beforehand. So if I don't want something that's super glossy on my lips, I feel like this is a really nice formula to reach for. And this next product is a favorite that I kind of rediscovered after I reflected back on my 2022 luxury beauty favorites. And this was the Sisley Phyto-Rouge Shine Lipstick in the shade Sheer Nude. So this was released, I guess, in 2022. And this lipstick formula is so gorgeous. It really reminds me of the Chanel Rouge Coco Flashes. Very similar formulation. But this one almost is not as oily as the Rouge Coco Flashes. So this one has more of that balmy consistency versus that oily formulation. Really gorgeous formulation because it's a very thin texture as well. It's not thick on the lips, but this is a thin texture that does not settle into lip lines. It doesn't emphasize those lip lines. It just smooths over them. This Sheer Nude shade does have a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's nothing too noticeable. You can just see a little bit of sheen on your lips, but I just think this type of shine is very flattering. And I think this shade is very gorgeous as well. I also have the shade Sheer Petal, which is just a little bit of a deeper version of this. So the Sheer Petal shade is pretty similar to the Chantecaille Lipslique that I showed in the shade Bourbon Rose, very similar to that. But this formula is very gorgeous as well. Again, it's not going to be a long-wearing formula, so you're going to have to touch up with these. But I just find this a very beautiful formula that is perfect for every day. This is the perfect sort of lipstick shade when I am wearing maybe something smokier in my eyes, or if I'm wearing a bright color like in my wardrobe. Wearing a shade like this that is so neutral and just gives a little bit of sheen. This one's not ultra shiny like some of the other ones. I just think this is a beautiful lipstick to pull for. And then I have some newcomers that were released last year. So these are the YSL Rouge Volupte Candy Glaze. I have the shade number 15. I think it's Showcasing Nude. And then there's the shade 02, which is just that, it's kind of like a sheer pink shade. So it almost looks clear, but this is a really, really awesome formula as well. So I'll try the Showcasing Nude because you can probably see that color a little bit more. This is more of like, all the other shades that I mentioned were kind of, they were like nudie pinks. This one has a little bit more brown to it. So I like to reach for this when I want something super neutral. But this is a really interesting formula as well because it's a little bit thicker. So it really reminds me of the Chanel Rouge Coco Flashes, but it's like a thicker version of this. This really does feel like a lip oil is melting on your lips. It melts on contact with your lips. So that formula is kind of this hard, waxy formula, kind of like Vaseline. And when it comes in contact to your lips, it just melts into this oil consistency. It's a little bit thicker, but like I said, that thicker formula, it really does lay over those lip lines and adds a really, it almost adds this lip mask effect to your lips so that your lips are getting ultra hydrated. And this is, again, one of those formulas that once it wears off, your lips feel really nice and hydrated after. It's like you're wearing a lip mask. So this is just one of my favorite formulas to wear just on an everyday basis. It's so easy to touch up with. The one downfall I want to say is that I have left these in my car before and it will melt in your car. So if it is really hot outside and you have these in your bag, maybe don't take these because they will melt because, like I said, they're those types of formula that melts on contact. So they are just a very melty formulation. But I really enjoy these because while they do give you that shine, I don't feel like they're obnoxiously shiny. They're just very comfortable, more of that thicker, tacky, a little bit tacky consistency. So if you're someone that likes that thicker formula, really recommend those. They're really beautiful. And I feel like they went viral, and I feel like they're viral for a reason. Sometimes I don't understand about products, and I'm like, why did that go viral? It's not even that good. But these are a product that I can get behind, and the packaging, that's just so elegant and beautiful as well. So I love these products. And then finally, I wanted to mention my favorite Barely There lipstick. This is kind of an in-between Barely There lipstick and just a sheer lipstick, like a lightweight lipstick, but this is the Merit Signature Lightweight Lipstick in the shade Baby. You guys have heard me talk about this over and over. This almost feels like, it's like a hard, waxy consistency, but again, it melts on contact. I love the sheen that this gives because it's not too sheeny. It doesn't give you too much of shine. It doesn't fall outside the lip lines. This is my perfect Your Lips But Better shade. So good. This is my second tube, so I've gone through a full one, and then I repurchased it, and I'm almost done this one, and I will buy a backup of this because that's just how much I like it. I like these because these are sheer but buildable. So with one layer on the lips, you get this beautiful color payoff, but you can build it up and get more of a medium coverage. And I just love them. Okay, so I realized that I actually forgot to mention two of my favorite lip products, so I'm back on a separate day to show you the additional two. So, just gonna wave off the product I have. One of my other favorite Barely There lip products is this Sisley. This is the Phyto Lip Twist in the shade number 24. It's just this beautiful rosy nude shade. And this is literally just a tinted lip balm. It gives you just the slightest hint of color. This is literally my lips but better, but it's that really nice balmy consistency. So this has a really nice thin texture to it, but it's that waxier consistency. So it feels like it hugs your lips a little bit better and provides a really nice base of moisturization. So my lips always just feel really smooth when I wear this product. This is just a beautiful color that I can wear with anything. I really like the texture of this formulation, easy to throw into your bag. I do like that it's in this little lip twist because it's just so easy to apply. You can apply it with basically without a mirror. It's just really easy. So I love this one. And then a final one that I forgot about because it was in my bag. This is the NARS Afterglow Lip Balm in the shade Fast Lane. So again, this is really similar to that Sisley one. This is just a tinted lip balm. I would say this one is an even thinner consistency though, so it's going to give an even lighter pigment to the lips. This one feels even a little bit thinner on the lips as well. This one really just melts into your lips. It almost has, it's a balmy texture, so it feels more like that tinted lip balm formula, but it has a little bit of oiliness to it. So it's it's like the perfect hybrid between the Chanel Rouge Coco Flashes and then this Sisley tinted lip balm, that perfect in between. So this is really nice as well to just give you that Barely There coverage, and it's just beautiful. And again, not long lasting. None of these are long lasting, but it just makes your lips feel better. And I really like that sheer pigmentation just on a daily basis. I think it just suits any event well, and you can wear it for any occasion. So love this. But that is everything. Those are all my favorite Barely There lip products. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know down below your favorite Barely There lip products as well. I would love to hear from you and try out some of your favorites. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you like it, and I'll see you in my next video.